Welcome to the Pred Pool channel. Let's hang out and talk about action figures. I'm just a guy who loves to collect action figures of characters I grew up with. Action figure love, in every shape and size, bringing back memories, making me feel alive. Action figure love, from old to brand new. They're more than toys, they're dreams coming true. Searching for rare ones, hunting high and low. Each one tells a story, a tale to show. From superheroes to villains, they're all here. Action figures bringing joy year after year.
Hey, welcome back. This is Predpool. Thank you for clicking on my video. So we're going to be doing another review of another Harbor Studios Savage Crucible. This time we're doing ball and chain. This figure I actually got through AliExpress. So I've been shopping around to see where I can get like a lower price, and I was able to get, just a few dollars less going through AliExpress. So here we have the figure, we got the package, the artwork. So I'm sure many of you are already familiar with this, may have seen other reviews already. So the box or the packaging is different from the normal Savage Crucible packaging. Usually they're similar to something like this. With this kind of deco, depending on the wave, they may have different design, but it's usually like this. But for this special figure that they licensed through Frazetta, they went just with the image of the artwork, original artwork, they put on the box. You do have the warrior ball and chain. You do have here again the name over here on the side. Then on the other side you do have Savage Crucible, and you got a slight bio here. Again, I got this AliExpress, so that's why this box is all beat up, but the figure came in fine. And then you got a very brief bio inside. So I usually just rip this off anyways, and I keep it aside and I get rid of the packaging. So let's get rid of this. I'm just gonna go straight for the extras, get that out of the way. Just adjust this guy back. And as you can see here, I got the card, and it's one of those reflective ones, and this is for the crossbow that comes with Jaeger. So again, you get your specs and info regarding the hound bow. So again, I got the reflective version, so I got about 3 or 4 types of this card, which is pretty neat. So got that, and then for the mystery weapon, I got one of these. This is one of the shorter, as far as like a hook sword type thing, which you have here the hook. So you pretty much use it this way. And again, this is the second time I got this exact as far as the color and size. So this is as they clarified, this will be under the venom or poison category. So I have a character that he's kind of dealing with poison and so forth, so having dual yield these type of swords works for me. So I was not disappointed in getting a second one of this sword, since I can use it with a specific character that I had customized, which I'll show here when I do the comparisons. So let's get into the figure. The figure, other accessories, as you know, he is called ball and chain. So he comes with the ball and chain. Now this is a very nice detailed weapon. See if I can focus. Hold up. Having a hard time focus. There we go. And it's got some blood stains on there already. And actual chain. It fits quite nicely on his hand. Nice detail actually on the hand too. It's kind of like a wood look to it, and then the metal. The only thing I would say that I would have liked something, it would be like maybe a wire here, so you can, as far as move this around, kind of like how Mezco did with their Conan, with their ball and chain. They came with 2. One was like this, and one with the wire, so you can pose it around. So I would have liked to have at least this, just the wire on here, because otherwise he's just gonna, all the time he's gonna be hanging down. So you may have to put your own wire so you can get that kind of posability. I got some of his accessories already on him. So he does come with the sword. he comes with this shield. I already put the shield on him. I was able to put the gripping hand on it, so it's gonna look like this. So I was actually able to put the hand already on the arm, put the arm in, and just squeeze the handle into the hand. It only took me about a minute. It was a little bit, little effort, but wasn't something overly tedious or anything like that. So I was able to do that. I did it with the hand that he already comes with on, which is the up and down moving hand. And he still has that also that hand here that's up and down. He has a knife or a dagger that comes, he can put on his sheath, and it's removable. Put this guy down so I can see the knife better. Let's see if I can focus. There we go. A little better. So, it's got the silver, gold, then for the handle, they're kind of like a leathery color. That's nice. Now with the knife, so far, his thigh holster type thing, it has not slid for me or anything like that. And as for some other reviewers, they were mentioning that it keeps sliding up and down. As of right now, for me, I haven't had that issue. However, I've had like 2 or 3 times where I move the figure around and the knife kind of falls out. It feels like it won't fall out. I don't know why it keeps doing that at times, but I mean, it's got a tight, kind of fairly decent grip in there. So I don't know, maybe because of the shield it knocks it out. That's a possibility. And then on the back, he has his sheath for the sword. And I'll get a little bit more into this. Something I want to mention about that. So this is, again, the sword. It fits just fine. It's nice and snug. I don't have any issues of it falling out. Then on the package, he doesn't come with his cloak on. You have to put it on. He has, I'm going to see if I can show it from here, because if you see, he has like this skin colored attachment that you can put on the shoulder, and then in the front of here they hook over inside to this little straps that he has in the cloak, which gives him a nice natural look here. Now if you don't have the cloak on, you're going to have these holes like this, right? That's going to be visible, like you see on the shoulder, and the same thing will be here without the cloak on. Now with the Lemurians, they tend to be like a darker color, so they're not as, let's say, your eyes don't catch it as much. While with like characters like Ball and Chain and Krieger, you can probably be more noticeable because of the skin color and the holes. They have I guess you have your shadow showing inside the hole, so it stands out more. So you kind of try to have either the cloak or their armor on, so it doesn't be as noticeable as far as those holes. He does have other pairs of hands. He has like these reaching out hands or grabby hands type. So those are pretty neat. Krieger comes with them also. So these are pretty cool. And then he has 2 other weapon wielding hands, but the only difference is that they go in and out this way. They don't go up. They do not go up and down. These are if you want them to hold things differently, this will be more useful, I would think. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say dual wielding, but you do just fine with the up and down hands as far as that. So you get that option. So I want to mention something about, like I mentioned, about the sword and the sheath, or the holster, or whatever you want to say. Here we got this Lemurian, right? He came earlier. He has the same as far as sheath. I did change the sword on him. I gave him one that came with the Ray packs. This fits just fine in here. It's a little loose, so if you put him upside down, it's going to fall out. But while he's standing up, it's fine. And the reason I bring this up is because it's the same thing for both characters. Now, it's not a gripe, it's not a complaint, just an observation. I would have preferred this guy at least come with a different sword, because he does come with the same sword as Ball and Chain. I switched it to this. I think Ball and Chain should have been more unique, as far as, let him keep this sword, let him keep that sheath, or because if once this guy, he got it first, it kind of takes away just a little bit from him, where he's a little bit less unique. You are paying just a slightly bit more for him compared to the other figures. So, and that's mostly, I'm assuming, it's because of licensing, because it's officially with Frazetta licensing. So I get it. They're going to be charging a little bit more. So if that's going to happen, just make sure that he's more unique than other characters. Just a slight observation, not a complaint, nothing to take down either figure necessarily. It's just I would have liked it more where he would have stood out more, where everything of his is just his. Now that the Lemurian has that same sword, has the same thing, it's kind of like, well, seen it, done it. So, but just an observation. I had no issues with this figure as far as articulation. I'm not going to go into it because I have other reviews that touches on it. So there was no, as far as QC issues, there was no tightness, nothing like that. So let me go ahead and do the comparisons. We have here Krieger, another barbarian from the same line. And originally I was going to just get Krieger and say, hey, that's my Conan. But I said, let me give Ball and Chain a chance. And I'm not disappointed at all. I'm glad I have them both now. And they are, even though they're the same basic, they're not basic, that's basically the same buck. But they do have a whole lot, as you can see, different accessories, which makes them completely different characters. So I have them working together basically as, barbarian brothers or cousins, whatever. So I'm glad I did wind up deciding getting Ball and Chain. They do have different skin tone colors, so as far as head swaps, it's not going to work quite as well. He has a more brownish, light brownish, and he has some more, it's more like a, so if you see, he has different skin tone to each other. So he's Ball and Chain's a little bit lighter. I do like, however, with Ball and Chain, he has some really, you probably maybe not be able to tell, but on the camera, he has some really nice shading. It's not coming across too much with my camera, but they did a nice work as far as if you look in person, he has some nice shading in his muscles and so forth. So I quite like that. Maybe it's back noticeable more. I think it is, maybe. So you can see, like here, especially here, it's a little bit darker brown. So they put that in there to kind of for it to stand out more. So I appreciate that. Let's put another Savage Crucible, and this is the guy I customized and painted, and it works for me putting the two Venom swords on him. So, and based them on the natural lizard colors with the orange, purple, and kind of like a white. So, yep, that's one of my customized Lemurians. Now, let's go with, oh, by the way, just with this Ball and Chain, although they call him Ball and Chain, but he's basically Conan. So, he just has, he's Conan. So, I want to compare him to other Conan type figures that I have. Let's go with a 4 Horsemen. This is the Barbarian Legends, which they provide parts that you can basically create your own Conan with. So this is my Conan from 4 Horsemen, Mythic Legions. So let me just make him look forward. There we go. So he has they're about the same size. He has a bigger head. So, and then who we have here? Here we have Mesco. So we have Mesco. I put the helmeted head so that we kind of look similar to him. Now as we know, Mesco, they are shorter compared to 4 Horsemen, compared to Savage Crucible. They kind of fit more with the Marvel Legends, the true 112 figures. but I do like having the other taller options. Okay, let's get those out. Now let's go with two bigger figures. I'm going to put in another custom figure. I'm going to put here a Predator Barbarian type that I matched together. There we go. So we have him. And here's Todd McFarlane's attempt to make a barbarian, which I don't think wasn't too bad. I really wish he kind of continued that story with the barbarian age superheroes. There's some characters I would have loved to have seen done with that interpretation. There we go. So, and he fits well. I think you want to use him with Savage Crucible. He's a good character to use to mix in, just like the tank of the barbarian clan. So that works for me. And last but definitely not least, let's put some ladies into the mix. So we have Boss Fight Studios Red Sonja, and she fits okay. See if we can have her look up more. There you go, yell at the camera. And then we have here Oaktown Elf. Let's see. There's the flooring on here, this part. There seems to be a little lump. There we go. Okay, so that looks nice also. Overall, I would say this is a solid figure to get from Savage Crucible. Highly recommend it. And the only kind of, again, the two main small gripes, well, at least for me, I consider fairly small. The smaller one will be the one with the sword, which was more unique to him, but it is what it is. And the holes in the back, if you don't have armor or the cape, they can be considered as an eyesore if you take any pictures from behind. So it kind of looks like as if, like some toys that have like holes and it looks like they have screws in them. It kind of gives that impression. So that's the only thing that kind of takes away a little bit from this figure. You have to kind of always have his cape on, just so to avoid that, especially when it comes to photography. But other than that, I think these are awesome figures. I'm going to continue collecting them. So I have another one on the way, and once I get him, I might do a review for him also. So again, thank you for clicking on my video. Please like and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, even if a person leaves a negative comment, I try to reply respectfully to them, and say, hey, I understand. So I try to be open minded, and I'm not here to argue with anybody or cause any issues. But I try to explain the best I can as far as information that perhaps I provide, and some of it might be inaccurate, and I accept it if it is. But yeah, please like and subscribe and continue collecting and enjoy the hobby. I'll see you guys in my next video.